Hello, my name is David. And for the longest time, I believed life had forgotten me. Every morning, I woke up in the same tiny apartment with peeling walls, a leaking ceiling, and an empty refrigerator. The alarm would ring, but I had nowhere important to go. No job. No opportunities. No one waiting for me. I used to dream of becoming an engineer. I studied hard, graduated with good grades, and believed that if I worked hard enough, life would eventually reward me. But after graduation, the rejection emails started arriving. "We regret to inform you." I heard those words so many times that they became part of my identity. Months turned into years. My savings disappeared. Friends stopped calling. Some people avoided me because they thought I was a failure. Even family members began asking the same painful question: when are you going to do something with your life? As if I wasn't trying. One afternoon, I stood outside a construction site hoping to get temporary work. I watched men carrying heavy blocks under the hot sun while I waited for someone to give me a chance. The supervisor looked at me for a few seconds and said, "We don't need anyone today." I nodded and walked away, pretending it didn't hurt. But it did. That night, I sat alone in my apartment staring at the city lights through the window. People were laughing, eating in restaurants, driving expensive cars, and moving forward with their lives while I felt completely stuck. For the first time, I asked myself a dangerous question: what if I'm never enough? The silence that followed was terrifying. I stopped applying for jobs for a while. I stopped answering calls. I stopped believing that tomorrow could be different from today. Days blended together like a never-ending gray fog. Then something unexpected happened. One morning, while throwing away old papers, I found a notebook from my university days. Inside were sketches of machines I had designed, ideas for affordable water systems, and a sentence I had written years earlier: "If nobody opens a door for you, build your own." I stared at that sentence for a long time. It felt like a message from a version of myself that had not yet been broken by disappointment. The next day, I made a decision. Instead of waiting for another company to reject me, I would start with whatever I had. I borrowed an old laptop from a neighbor. I watched free engineering tutorials online. I began designing simple repair solutions for local water pumps and generators. At first, nobody cared. But I kept showing up every day. Weeks later, a small shop owner asked me to fix a damaged pump that other technicians had ignored. I worked on it for hours, and when it finally started running again, the owner looked at me with genuine surprise. "You actually fixed it." He paid me a small amount of money. It wasn't much, but it was the first money I had earned from my own skills in a very long time. Word began to spread. One customer became 3. 3 became 10. I started repairing equipment for local businesses, then designing affordable systems for small communities. I wasn't rich overnight. The struggle didn't magically disappear. But something far more important changed. I stopped seeing myself as a failure. I realized that my lowest moments were not proof that I was worthless. They were proof that I was still fighting despite every reason to quit. Today, when people see me, they often notice the success first. They see the projects, the clients, the progress. What they don't see are the nights I cried in silence, the days I walked home with empty pockets, or the moments I almost gave up completely. And maybe that's the lesson I want you to remember. Sometimes the strongest people are not the ones who never struggle. They are the ones who keep taking one more step after life has knocked them down 100 times. If you are struggling right now, please hear me clearly. Your current situation is not your final destination. The chapter you are in is not the end of your story. As long as you are still breathing, there is still a chance for everything to change. And if this story gave you even a little hope, subscribe to World Decode and join us for more powerful stories that remind us that even in our darkest moments, a new beginning is always possible.